What is going on, everyone? Caveman Crypto here, and today we're back into Pixels. I've been playing for a minute. I've made some progress, and I'm really excited to show off what I've done so far. But I also want to talk a little bit about what I've learned in this game, because there's quite a bit to it, and I think it might be helpful to some new players. So let's dive on in. All right, here I am. Notice anything different? I have completely upgraded my little spec to the max level. So now I have this massive plot, which I haven't even started decorating yet. I think I'm going to get my kids to help me out with that. I think I have a lot of fun with that. But I have expanded upon the mining and the farming here. I've even added some more trees, and inside the house there's more stuff there too. But this kind of goes towards the first thing that I want to talk about, is that upgrading is really difficult. Like the first upgrade is like 1,000 coins, no big deal. But then the next upgrade is like 50,000 coins. And I think I was averaging somewhere around like 1,000 coins a week that I maybe earn. So like if I wanted to do just one more upgrade, it'd probably take me like a year to do it. And then the next upgrade was like 100,000 and like 200, 500, and then it took real pixels, I think, to upgrade. Anyways, long story short, I think if you want to progress in this game, you gotta pick up some of the pixels and use them in the game. But the pixels are real cheap. It actually isn't like a lot of money, and then with just a couple bucks, I was able to get like 4 million coins on top of that too. So I'm pretty much set here. Things are a lot easier, and I've been able to progress a lot faster, obviously, now that I'm kind of filthy rich. But that is something you want to be aware of when you get into this game, because I think without that you'd be kind of stagnant and you'd be just doing the same stuff every day, and it'd be pretty hard to progress. Alright, the next thing I want to talk about is that maybe you've noticed I looked a little bit different now. I have picked up a squishy NFT. I got it for two reasons. One, it looks super cool, kids love it. Second reason is that I really needed it because it increases your reputation in the game. And that's important because without a high enough reputation, you can't do things like go to the marketplace and buy and sell things there, which I really needed to do because there were just certain items that I wasn't getting, that I couldn't complete quests without them. So you see in here that I'm at 823 reputation now. I think I was at like 200 or something. You might need like 500 or 600 to use the marketplace. And once you buy an NFT from one of their associated partners, it it increases your reputation enough that you can go and use the marketplace. So that's pretty huge, because like I said, I was kind of stuck. Like I was in this weird spot where I was mining stuff higher than what I could use for metalworking. So metalworking needed like copper, but I kept getting stuff that wasn't copper, and so I couldn't like increase my metalworking because I couldn't get copper. And then so then I was kind of stuck because some of the quests I needed to do needed copper, and some of the turning things I needed to do needed copper. So the only way I could get copper would be if I bought it on the marketplace, which now I can. And some of these quests too here, like I couldn't get the silk slug slime. I'm not sure how you even get that, but I wasn't getting any of that. But then once I got enough reputation, I was able to buy it, right? So stuff like that was really important, to have your reputation up higher so that I could start using the marketplace and making full use of that. Also, like I said, it looks totally cool, and there's a ton of these NFT projects out there. So I picked one up. It was only like $6 maybe for this guy. Super cool, so well worth the investment. And so that's about it for reputation. Alright, here I am in my house, and as you may have noticed, I got some new stuff here. There's my woodworking area, metalworking area. Got one of these guys, but the absolute most important thing in this house are these chests here, because this is how I store additional goods. And before I was making these, I had to go into town and go to the post office, and then the bar has some like chests that you can use. But it meant that every time I needed to like do some stuff, I needed to make this like long loop through the map to go through the chest and put things in there. And I was constantly running out of room. I was constantly having to shuffle things around. And eventually I got to the point where I can make my own chest through here. And so I've been just kicking these things out like crazy because it is super helpful. Now these chests are just the small ones where they only have like, you know, six slots, whereas the ones in the bar and in the post office I think have like maybe like 18 slots, or maybe 24, I'm not sure, but they're a lot bigger. So they do come in handy. But this makes it so that I could do all my work within my spec without having to like loop through the city several times to do everything I want to. So that's another lesson. As soon as you can, go out and build these chests because they are a huge time saver. Alright, Another thing I found out is that this Bucks Galore store updates as you upgrade your player. So there's new items to pop up in here that you're gonna need, like the crafting mix and the blue grumpkin, and it took me an embarrassingly long time to figure that out. I kept getting new recipes for things that said like use crafting mix. And I'm like, where do I get the crafting mix? I thought the only place you can get it from was the marketplace, and I was like, where are they getting it from? And so I think it spent, I don't know, maybe a week before I even like looked in the store and double checked. I was like, wait a second, there's crafting mix here now. Like, wait, where's this blue grumpkin? Where'd this come from? So maybe a little helpful hint for some of you guys who play this game. It took me way too long to figure this out, but if I would have had this earlier, I could have started making stuff, the higher level recipes earlier. It's just one of those things. I figured it out eventually, whatever. And the final thing I'd like to talk about is that energy is really important, which I didn't realize at first, because when I first started off, I was able to do everything I wanted to do. I could do the farming, get the trees, the mining, build anything I wanted to, and I never had to worry about energy. I knew there was this spa place here where you can go and recharge your energy, but I was like, what is everyone doing? Like, what are you doing that you're burning through all your energy? But now I realize once you get to the higher levels and you start building more and more things, and everything takes energy. You can't do anything without energy, and before you know, you start blowing through all your energy, and then you starting to make decisions on like, should I chop down these trees or mine these things, or should I farm more things, or should I craft, right? So then energy conservation really becomes really important, and then obviously whenever you're out of energy, you need to come AFK in the spa for a while and hang out with your buddies. So that makes a lot more sense now on why this thing is always back. Because I was super confused when I first got into this game. I was like, what is everyone doing? Is everyone just having like a pool party or what? But that's what they're doing. I'm assuming it gets a lot worse at the higher levels. And that's why there are like items you can buy that restore energy. Which at first I was like, why would you even spend that much money on this? Energy's not a big deal. But now I get it. It's all coming together now. Anyways, hope you enjoyed that. I hope maybe if you're a new player, you might have learned something new, learn from my mistakes and all that kind of stuff, right? Also, I'm really enjoying the game, especially now that I've expanded a little bit more. I think, obviously you can play this game, just play for free, but just putting it in a few bucks will go a long way in making the game a whole lot more enjoyable. So that's all I got. So let me know if I'm missing something in Pixels. What should I be doing? Are there any other tips I'm missing out on? I'm still really new to this game. I've only been playing for maybe a month. Also, let me know what other Web3 games are out there that I should be checking out. And I'll talk to you guys later. See ya.